Hello friends, you're welcome to Mind Your Language class with Victor Valentine. We have throwback, a couple of words you have to pronounce. So you pronounce the following words. I'm not going to say them, so you have to say them. So we have expressions here too. You just look at the expressions. These are not correct, so you look at them, you say the correct expression. Yeah, that's it. These are the topics we're addressing this week. We have the phonemic sound E, and there's a long vowel sound. We have vocabulary words to deal with. We have difference between British and American English. Then we have expressions. So let's get started. This is a long vowel sound, and it sounds E. Say after me. E. E. Good. Now this long vowel sound can be found at the beginning of a word. Example, eat. At the middle of a word, beats. And at the end of a word, key. Now these are spelling letters. Remember I told you we spell and write with letters and we pronounce with sound. So here we have the letters that you could spell the sound E with. We have double E in feet. We have EA in T. We have EI in receive. We have IE in relieve. We have EY in key. We have letter E in these and letter I in machine. Yes, here we have what examples? We have seats, E, seats. We have ch, remember ch, cheap. We have lean. We have bead. We have COVID, COVID-19, teen, COVID-19. We have read. We have deed. Now this is different from DID, did. Yeah, this is deed. We have receive. Last week we did the sound A, but now we're doing E, so receive. Here we have keep, and we have quarantine. Now this sounds quarantine, and not quarantine. Here we have sentence practice. The sentence practice, we just say the sentences together. The first is, I love to read books. I love to read books. Next, I will receive an award this autumn. I will receive an award this autumn. Receive. Last week we did sound A. Now E. Receive, and not receive. Then we have always sit on your seats. Sit. Always sit on your seats. Sit. Please keep my bag. Please keep the classroom clean. You have keep and clean. Okay, we have British and American English. The difference, I have a couple of words not the same. Here we have shop and store. In British English you say shop, American English you say store. Here you say trainers, American English you say sneakers. British you say maize, American you say corn. In British English you say torch, not torchlight, torch. In American English you say flashlight. In British English you say pajamas. Now that's what we say actually, pajamas, right? Pajamas. In American English you say pajamas. Yes, not pajamas, but pajamas. Now there are a couple of words that found their way into the dictionary as a result of the coronavirus. So we will look at some of the words. Now the first word is Rona. Now Rona is a short form of coronavirus or corona. So you can say Rona. Yeah, Rona. That's one of the words. You can look it up in the dictionary online. You'll find them. Rona. The next is coronation. That, for example, my teen thinks he's getting a coronation since his school has moved online. Now it's more like a staycation, like holiday, coronation. Yes, it's a word. Now we have coronavirus. Sorry, coronavirus. Now coronavirus is say someone is taking social distancing for granted. You can say the person is being coronavirus. For example, my roommate it's being such a coronavirus. He went down to the beach with a huge group of friends. Coronavirus. Yes, the next one is COVIDiot. Now, COVID and idiot. COVIDiot. Same as coronavirus, but a little different. For example, you say, don't be a COVIDiot by visiting the bank today. It's super crowded. Don't go around giving people hugs. Don't be a COVIDiot. Yes, it's COVIDiot. It's a word now, yeah. COVIDiot. Okay, now these are a couple of words you already know. And they're all here. I actually wrote the meanings of the words out so you can know them. If you have to say them or someone says any of the words, you know what they're talking about. So here are the meaning of the words, the meanings of the word. Now you have in general, quarantine. No, not quarantine. It's quarantine. Quarantine. Remember? No, quarantine. Now, the challenge is the way it's spelled. Using the I and the E. So people say quarantine. No, it's quarantine. Quarantine. All right. So we have quarantine. You can read the meaning later. We have respirator. Respirator. We have ventilator. And we have COVID. Remember, not COVID, but COVID-19. We have epidemic, we have pandemic, we have social distancing. You can check the meanings out yourself later. Okay, here we have a couple of words. We talked about them already, but we want to look at how they are pronounced with the phonetic symbols. So the first word is pandemic. 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 The next is epidemic. 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 The next is remember quarantine, quarantine, not quarantine, quarantine, quarantine. The next is social distancing, social distancing, social distancing. The next is COVID-19, COVID-19, COVID-19. The next is respirator, 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 respirator. The next is ventilator, 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 ventilator. Now the reason we have the R's in the brackets is actually because under the British English there are several accents, and some actually still roll the R's, but the Southern England accent and the received pronunciation is not rhotic, so you don't roll your R's. So it's respirator and ventilator. Then we have coronavirus. Rona, not Rona. So you don't say coronavirus. No, it's coronavirus and not corona drivers. No, it's coronavirus. Yes. The next is self-isolation. Self-isolation. The reason we have this here, the schwa sound, is because if you take away the schwa sound, the word is still lation, still correct, isolation. So that's why it's in brackets. So self-isolation. Yeah. Yes, expressions. We have you don't say my pen is not writing, you say my pen is not working. Yes. The next you don't say light has gone, it's power actually, and we all need power this period. So you'd say power has been interrupted. Yeah. The next is I'm looking for one leg of my shoes. Your shoes don't have legs, do they? So you say I'm looking for half a pair of my shoes, not one leg of my shoes. Yes. Yeah. Till I come your way again. Stay safe, stay happy, and always speak right. And before I say bye, friends, before I say that, if you have any question or you have a word, there's a word you would like us to address, to talk about, send them across and we will add them to our next video, or in our next video we'll talk about the words. Thank you and bye, friends.